Hello and welcome back to the channel. Okay, it's time for another episode of looking at silly fanboys and the stupid stuff they say on Twitter. So let's get into the zone, shall we? You unlock this door with a simple registration. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of memes. A dimension of trolls. A dimension of morons. You are moving into a dimension of both factual and unfactual information, of rumours and hopes. You just crossed over into the Twitter fanboy zone. So first up we have the return of this guy, Magic for 322. Magic. Yes, it's magic because the crap he comes out with, it's got to be magical. It can't be just natural. So yeah, so what is this? Let's have a look what this fellow was saying. Right, so they give you some backstory on this discussion we was having. So following on from Psychonauts releasing, the PlayStation fanboys have decided to compare it to Ratchet and Clank and saying it's crowdfunded. Psychonauts is a crowdfunded game, by the way. Just listen to what I'm saying here. Crowdfunded. It's crowdfunded. That means just gamers pay for the game themselves and the developers pay the developers to develop the game. Ratchet & Clank is a AAA title supported by Sony. Because Psychonauts Xbox bought Psychonauts 2 after it was crowdfunded, the PlayStation fanboys decided to compare it to Ratchet & Clank, which is not only a completely different style of game anyway, art style, direction, but one's crowdfunded, the other's a AAA budget. But they thought they would compare the two, as they do. So I was saying, why not just compare other games then? If you're going to just randomly compare games like that, why not compare other games? Why not compare Ratchet and Clank with, I don't know, Rise? Rise looks much better than Ratchet and Clank, does it not? Yes, it does. Why are we not making stupid comparisons like that? So anyway, I kicked the ball off by saying, oh, nice control, nice damage control. Pardon me. Nice damage control. I see you are still working hard on it. How about Gears 5? That looks better than Ratchet and Clank. Next week, MS Flight Sim drops. Compare that with Ratchet & Clank 2. I'm happy to return with a side-by-side comparison, which I'd be happy to do for him. So we can start comparing games like that with Ratchet & Clank, if he's going to really big Ratchet & Clank up. He said, Gears 5 doesn't come close to Ratchet & Clank. Flight Sim won't either. Maybe next year, Microsoft might surprise you. This is where I'll just come back in with firstly a bit of sarcasm. Yeah, you're right. Both Gears and Microsoft Flight Sim are decades beyond Ratchet and Clank. I'll sort of switch it there. See what I said there? Trying to make it like that's what you were saying. Because I say the office here. I mean, who in their right mind would say Toy Story looks better than real life? I mean, who would say that? I mean, really, who would? I mean, anyone seen Forza Horizon 5 or Microsoft Flight Sim? It basically looks like real life. And he's saying Ratchet and Clank looks better than that. A game that looks like a Pixar game looks better than real life. This is the mentality that you have to deal with daily on Twitter. This is the stupidity you have to deal with on Twitter on a daily basis. And then that guy quickly then bottled out the debate and vanished. Let's move on to the next Wally. Okay, so this one's actually Digital Foundry. They released a video about Ratchet and Clank, because everyone's jumping on the board of Ratchet and Clank now. They released a video trying to persuade people that 40 FPS, why it's sort of a good thing and why it's sort of I don't know, the next best thing since sliced bread. 40 FPS. Yeah, this is not 60, not 120 FPS, but 40 FPS, because that's what Ratchet and Clank's running at. And they're trying to convince gamers that that it's brilliant. And I just had to stick this in because it's just stupid. And it's a nightmare when you hear it coming from media sites. It must have been paid off by Sony to say that. I can't believe Digital Foundry say such stupid or make a video on such stupid things. But I just thought I'll throw this in anyway because it's just hilarious to actually see someone trying to persuade someone else at 40 FPS. It's bad enough for that Sony fanboy guy trying to convince everyone that 30 FPS is the way to go and it's the best thing for gaming. But to see someone like Digital Foundry say 40 FPS, come on, man. Come on, 60 FPS. At least, at minimum. Come on. And now this fella. Now this is quite disturbing. Firstly, you get quite a lot of PlayStation fanboys that actually don't have a clue about what games are on their consoles, what games actually are coming out, what games are on any consoles. But you'd think if you're going to preach and hype up your own console, you'd know what's on it or know what the first party games are for that console. So firstly, the debate was starting, that he was going, as they usually do, saying about Xbox Series X has no games lined up, which I told him there was, which he didn't believe. He says it's got none, where PlayStation has lots. So I, said the simple thing that I can name them, and I named them, and he come back at me, as you can see there. You got 5, buddy, not 9, because there was 9 first party games. 9 first party next gen games only. That's what he said to me. There's 5, not 9. He said I can't name 9. So then I clearly named them again, named the 9. And I put numbers by them to make it easier for him to read. So Forza Motorsport 2022 likely, Avowed, Perfect Dark, Fable, Starfield 2022, Everwild, Hellblade, State of Decay 3, Redfall 2022. So very likely going to have 3 first party titles exclusives next year to Xbox Series X. Remember, this is Xbox Series X. These games are not going to be back combat. This is all games that are going to be cross-gen. These won't be on Xbox One. These are games solely for the Xbox Series X. That's what I'm talking to him about. So I clearly named 9 there. 9. I put the numbers next to him to make it nice and easy, so even a child can understand it. And then at the bottom I wrote, plus there's cross-gen, plus there's third party, because there's you've got to add about 5, 6 cross-gen titles on top of that. Stuff like Halo and stuff like that. But then on top of that, and Forza Horizon 5 is about to drop. On top of that, you've got your third party, found stuff like Stalker 2 and your Crossfire X and your Gunks and your Warhammers and your Arc 2s. You've got all the third party that's coming for it. So then I repeated to him, just remember, PS5 has no first party next gen games announced for the next 3 years, which they've not. So this wizard of a man come back and said he can list them. Because they've already released 5 in the last 8. Oh no, he won't name the ones. Sorry, he's not this guy. He can't name the ones coming out. He says they've already released 5 first party games in the last 8 months. You seem to be forgetting that. No, I'm not forgetting it. I just know what I'm talking about. So I say to him, really? Name the 5 first party PS5 only games released in the past 8 months. And his list was Demon's Souls, Astro's Playroom, Destruction All Stars, Returnal, and Ratchet. Anyone spotted any mistakes there? Any listeners to his, to that? This is what I'm saying about. This is a common occurrence. The PlayStation fans, firstly, don't know what first party is. That's a major thing, major worry. Secondly, they don't know what games are only on PlayStation 5. They're still naming games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Spider-Man stuff as games that are only on PlayStation 5. Which is shockingly weird. But it's all Sony's fault when they're misleading advertising, really. So they don't care. But anyway, I went on to highlight, and him and all his buddies, several of them there was included in the conversation, that Demon's Souls isn't first party, nor is Destruction All Stars, and at the time when Returnal launched, that wasn't first party either. But I said to him, I'll be generous. I will give you 3 of those games. They've released 3 first, but even though Astro Playroom's a tech demo for the controller, it's a free game, a free downloadable tech demo for the controller. Then you've got Ratchet Clank, which is a first party game. Then Returnal, which has actually become first party after the game released. But I was really generous and I gave him 3. So Mesa said, no, there's not 5, there's 3. So I've named 9 first party games coming up from now to 2024. He's got 3. That's just awkward. Yeah, I didn't see him. He didn't see him after that. He just faded away into oblivion. Let's have a look. What else I got in here? Yes. So finally we have this guy. This is the last guy. So you ever notice that a lot of fanboys, PS fanboys, you just be talking about stuff, and then they all just jump in and make themselves get involved, and sort of make a big thing about themselves. And sort of draw attention upon themselves, but then just come out with a load of garbage and a load of rubbish, and then just vanish, and just leave people are just left wondering what the. I declare. So yes, we had this guy. So I can't remember his name. We'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, so I was having a debate with other stupid fanboys that just come out with nonsense and stuff. But he thought he'd be clever. He thought he was the big boy, and thought we'd jump in and come to their defence and think he was better than me and tried to outsmart me. It never ends well for them when they do that. So he basically come out with a load of nonsense, and I completely shut him down and exposed him. So in return, what he did was delete his comments and then blocked me. Yes, he actually blocked me for exposing him for being a complete idiot. Broke my ninja, that was it. Yes, I broke his ninja, alright. So hard that he ran away crying and blocked me, never to be exposed by me ever again on Twitter. And he thought he got away with it. But I had receipts. Let's have actually look what he wrote. So yes, let's have a look what he said. Actually, try owning all consoles instead of one. Again, I have owned and still own every PS and Xbox system since their release. I got for each platform's exclusives and whichever cross-platform releases. I prefer to play on one console. Well, it doesn't make any sense, just what you just said then. But anyway, he just finishes it up here and said, how long until the first Xbox Series S game? How long until the first Xbox Series X game? Which I replied, next week, Microsoft Flight Sim. From that, he deleted all his comments and blocked me. I mean, how long until the first Xbox Series X game? We've already had the Medium, which is Xbox Series X only game. So we've already had that game. So I could have I could have just said the Medium's already been out. It come out months ago. But I just thought I'd make him look stupid by saying next week. Because he's asked, how long to the next one? Next week. You own all consoles, apparently. You're a clued up gamer, apparently. You didn't know Microsoft Flight Sim is actually dropping next week. And it's only on the Xbox Series X. You wasn't aware of that. You also wasn't aware of The Medium, a game called The Medium that's only on the Xbox Series X. You're not aware of that, even though you own all consoles, but apparently only play on one. So what the fuck, you know what I mean? I'm going to buy everything, but only use one thing, because I'm an idiot. What? This is what I do these videos for my amusement and hopefully yours. So I think I'm going to leave it with this idiot. Thank you all for watching the game. Subs slowly creeping up. Slow down a bit. Be nice some of you to sub some more and share some more. But I welcome all the comments. I welcome all the subs. Welcome all the likes. I hope you enjoy the content. Thank you all for watching and goodbye for now.